we have a present. Great, thanks. So we have a we have a presentation today about Cleantech Open, and we will hear from several experts who have gone through the program, both as startup entrepreneurs and also as mentors. And we'll hear from the Danish Cleantech Hub, and we'll have a chance to chat afterwards about what it is that we do. The main goal that we have today is to get the word out, because our applications for the 2022 cohort are due really soon. April 17th is the due date. So if you know any emerging clean tech startups, send them our way, and we will provide all of the information that they would need in order to get started. So without further ado, I will share my slides and we will get started. And then we'll have plenty of time for questions when we're done. So please let me know when the slides are available to be viewed, and I'll get started. So today we are here with the Danish Cleantech Hub and Cleantech Open, specifically the Cleantech Open Northeast, because we are running the Northeast region here out of the Boston area. We cover quite a few states, ranging and including Eastern Canada. We cover Maine south through Pennsylvania in terms of the location. The overall program covers the entire US, and we are happy to invite folks from all over the world to participate because we are virtual. And we will get into the details of that. So in terms of my team, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm the Senior Regional Director. Tally Kane, who's traveling today, is our Program Manager, and Safia Elmi is our Spring Coordinator. So Safia, do you want to say hi? Safia.
Hi. Nice to meet everyone. I'm currently on COP from Northeastern University, and I'll be working with the Cleantech Open Northeast until July.
Excellent, thank you. And it's great to have you as part of the team. So, just briefly, what goes on at Cleantech Open here in the Northeast? We are run by NECEC, which stands for the Northeast Clean Energy Council. And this is an organization that really makes life a lot easier for many clean tech and other clean energy startups and larger companies in this region, because we're working with the various state governments on regulatory and policy so that these companies will have a better chance at success. And NECEC also works on market development in these areas too. So it's a great green carpet, as I like to say, for the clean tech community in this area. So I would love to turn it over to Milla and anybody else who's with the Danish Cleantech Hub to say a few words about what you do, how it works, and how you support clean tech innovation in particular. Do you want to say a few words, Milla?
Yeah, can you hear me? Just want to make sure.
Yes, of course.
Okay, good. So yeah, I'm happy to just add in a few comments. Can I also share just a couple of slides, Beth, or what do you prefer?
Of course, sure.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna try and see if I can share. Okay, actually it doesn't, let's see. Okay, so for some reason I cannot share my screen, but it's fine. We'll do it with.
Okay, I'm making you a co-host, so you can do that.
Okay. Let's see. Just give me one sec. Okay, so I hope everybody can see my screen, and thank you so much, Beth, and the entire Cleantech Open team for inviting me and for sharing or giving us this opportunity to participate as Danish Cleantech Hub. So I've been asked to just speak a bit about what we do here in New York, but also why a Danish organization is sort of represented in this event. So my name is Millie, and I'm a senior advisor here in the Danish Cleantech Hub in New York. And for those of you who are not familiar with the Danish Cleantech Hub, we are actually a public-private partnership between the Confederation of Danish Industry and State of Green. So basically what we do is we enable US companies and organizations to sort of tap into Danish companies, cities, government knowledge and solutions by engaging stakeholders across the entire ecosystem. And we're just always keen to learn more, which is also why we're always think into alternative partnerships. So I think that's also why we got the invitation today. So very briefly, we're just providing this forum to sort of dive into clean tech solutions. These are just some of the sectors we work within. But we do see our focus and also our geographical scope expand. So we're very deeply rooted into the New York ecosystem, but we are also seeing that grow, which is just amazing. So basically what we do is, while being super integrated into the entire ecosystem, we also provide all of our partners with market updates, in-depth market knowledge. And of course, we do help companies, startups, SMEs, but also larger companies with their business development in the US and in particular in New York. So we try to be this collaborative partner, but we also want to inspire. And that is like the majority, that's the main thing we do here. So basically we are trying to tap into the whole entrepreneurial, set up an ecosystem here in New York to foster innovation. And we do that with very different partners across the state, but also the city. And I'm also going to get back to that. But basically what we try is to provide some sort of test ground that could sort of also enhance the opportunities for financial support and so on. And so like the ultimate goal for us at least is to transform cities and societies much faster. So we have completely realized that we need to rethink all of the current approaches we have for business development, but also for innovation. But we do also need to include multiple partners in the ecosystems to get in the right direction faster. So in Denmark, we have this tradition of partnerships, and we do see all of these partnerships are deeply grounded in trust. So we are trying to sort of dive into all of the best experience, best know-how, best practice examples we have from Denmark, and actually trying to integrate that in the way we work here in New York to sort of, just accelerate the transition, but also to be able to actually help smaller companies and in particular startups to actually go to markets even faster. So this is basically the market access model, and I think that's also something Beth can speak much more about, but we work in very similar ways, very similar. So basically what we do is we connect companies with market influencers and public decision makers and work around concrete challenges. And I don't want to go too much in detail about this, but there are like multiple examples on how we work. Circular City Week is one very specific example, which is the largest festival actually in the US for circular solutions. It takes place in May, so also encouraging everyone to check it out. We have we expect more than 100 events this year and more than 10,000 participants, but that is really a platform focusing on circular economy solutions. But this is a platform where we really want to sort of engage and include all stakeholders across the ecosystem to sort of speak about the same agenda, but also making sure that everybody moves in the right direction. I think that's it for me. Feel free to always reach out. I'm happy to sort of facilitate all sorts of dialogue and answer questions. But please, get in touch. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Millie. And it's great to know that the Cleantech Hub is there. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that the Danish Cleantech Hub is still situated at UFL. Is that correct?
That's true. And also we have an office space in Midtown, which is the grand central accelerator. So we are in 2 different locations in the city.
Excellent. And the reason why I mentioned UFL is because Cleantech Open is a partner with UFL, the Urban
Exactly.
Future Lab in New York. So there's a lot of interplay here with the various organizations in this space. So that's fabulous. So I'm going to continue my presentation, and I want to thank you. So for anyone who is who's a clean tech entrepreneur and you want to continue your journey, I would say that knowing about and working with the Danish Cleantech Hub is pretty good idea. So let's move on. I do want to see if there is anybody in this meeting who would be interested in giving a 1-minute pitch. Tally Kane is not here at the moment, but my colleague Skelly, maybe you could have anybody who's interested in giving a 1-minute pitch about your startup. Please just send a little text over to Skelly, not Tally. So it's Skelly. And she will take your name, and we'll see if anybody wants to share at the end of this webinar. Okay, so I want to let you all know we are a nonprofit organization, and in the Northeast we are really lucky to have a fabulous roster of sponsors who support the program and the startups who work with us. And specifically, our premier sponsors are the Massachusetts Clean Energy Center, abbreviated as MassCEC, and NYSERDA, which is the equivalent in New York. Both of these organizations are essentially carrying out the energy transition in their respective states. The Sire Foundation is offering 2 awards this year, so 2 prizes in the Northeast. One is for a carbon sequestration team, and the other is for an ag, food, and land use team. So if anyone knows anyone working in these spaces, whether they're Danish or not, it doesn't matter. But we would love to have them apply and participate in the program. In addition, we have some other government entities who are very supportive. Canada refers to the Canadian Consulate in New York, and JEDA and CSIT are the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. And then there is some corporations like Schneider Electric, AGC, which is Asahi Glass Company, Citi, which is the bank, Chubb Insurance, Xylem is a water tech company, Constellation is an energy tech company, and Novartis, which is pharma. I'm going to circle back and let you know we have some law firms in here too. Foley, Hoag, and Sunstein are 2 different types of law firms. Foley is more of a general firm, and Sunstein is a specialty firm focused on IP, so licensing and patents and such. And then there are a few others you'll see on the right side. These are organizations that are providing what we call an in-kind sponsorship. And so added together, they represent about over $300,000 worth of goods and services that go pretty much directly to the startups who participate. So there are consulting types of things with various services. There's software in here, as well as incubator space, and also opportunities in several different locales where our startups can get some or all of their participation fee reimbursed. So we can talk about that in a moment too. So what categories? So when I saw what Millie was saying about what the Danish Cleantech Hub categories are, they're very similar. I would say that we are essentially the same in terms of what we're covering. What I like to say is that if you have a solution that has an environmental benefit, we will consider it as we look through the applications. So what do we do? We say it's like a mini MBA. So that includes training in the form of an online curriculum, lots of events where you get to really stress test your idea, your venture, and lots of coaching with both mentors who are assigned directly to you, as well as coaches who are assigned to work directly with you in specific events that we hold. The mentoring is probably the best part. we're able in the Northeast to offer as many as 4 mentors per startup. So if you think about coming in to the program with a 2-person team, and then you all of a sudden have 4 people working with you as an advisory board, you're really ×3 in terms of the size. It's very significant. They are really there to guide you as you go through the curriculum and to help you with making connections as well. In terms of access to capital, we offer an Investor Connect toward the end of the program where people can meet and get matched with various investors and potential customers, but also there are investors and corporates embedded in the program, so you get to meet them all the way through. And then at the end, there are prizes. So in the Northeast, we are able to offer $60,000 in cash prizes this year, which includes the 2 specialty prizes and 4 general prizes. And then at the national level, there's another single prize for $50,000. So you can see our friends here, Yelena and Kristen. They are with Radical Plastics, and they won the National Grand Prize in 2018. And so they were very proud of holding up their giant check. So what is the schedule? So we are accepting applications through April 17th. And then what you'll see here, I would say from May through September 27th, everything here is private, specifically a safe space that we create for the entrepreneurs to go through the program and work with people that we introduce them to and really focus on their venture and how they're going to really develop that venture and what the milestones will be. As we emerge from our private cocoon, so to speak, on September 28th, when we have our regional finals, the September 27th and 28th will be in the Boston area. All of the other programming is going to be virtual until September 27th and 28th. And then we will have our global forum, which is a big event at in October, and that will most likely be in San Jose. And when I'm done, I'll turn it over to Ken to say a few words about Cleantech Open National and the Global Forum. But in any event, there are a lot of opportunities to progress your company and to end up with materials that will really make a difference as you form your team and take the next steps. So what are you actually creating? We have 10 modules and 8 deliverables that you will work on. And we start with customer discovery. You create a business model canvas and continue to update that as the program continues, and you produce the additional materials. I like to say that this is like a mini MBA, where you're taking all of the theory of an MBA and applying it to your business. So you're creating plans for all of these different things in here, as well as additional materials about and thinking through team building and how to calculate your greenhouse gas emissions reduction potential, which is becoming increasingly important for startups in this space. Customer segmentation, your go-to-market strategy, your legal issues. How will you work with an attorney? What's your IP look like? Do you need to secure that IP? How will you work with that in terms of both patents and licensing? What about insurance? Are you going to need insurance for your company? And are there some things that an insurance company like Chubb could help with when in their own insurance stress tests that they provide in New Jersey, as a matter of fact? So there's a lot here, but we conclude the program where you have all of these deliverables and you're able to share whatever you think is the most appropriate, but typically the intro video, the pitch deck, and the executive summary are the things that tend to have the most external visibility. So how have we been doing? So I think it's important to know that in 2020, Cleantech Open Northeast ran an assessment of our alumni that had graduated since 2005. So we started in 2005 at MIT. And at the time we had 414 Northeast alumni and 68% were still in business. That's a really good number. We also found that they were earning revenue in the at least 279 million. We believe it's higher because these numbers are hard to pin down exactly. And they had raised over $653 million and we're employing 3,300 people. So we're going to try to do this again and get updated data at some point soon, but we are very pleased to be able to say that our startups are thriving. And we have been able to increase the diversity of our startup cohorts as well. We are hovering around 62% in terms of the startups that have either a woman founder or a minority founder. And we hope to continue to improve on that. And we have built in diversity, equity, and inclusion into the curriculum as of last year. So that's a nice thing to consider as well. And then we talk about environmental benefit. So in 2021, last year, we started a new program with NYSERDA, which enables all of our startups to measure and calculate their future greenhouse gas emissions reduction. So what do they think they're going to reach? And when we aggregated all of the answers, this is just the Northeast, there were 44 startups that participated in the Northeast. 101 million metric tons of CO2 equivalent per year when they're at scale is the number that when we added it all up, we got to. This is significant. We are now hoping to find somebody who can help us to measure how our actual startups are doing, but the future projections are very promising for our startups and for the planet. So that's equivalent to taking 22 million cars off the road per year. So that is a significant number. I also wanted to reiterate that diversity, equity, and inclusion is a big topic for us, and we continue to push for more women and minority startup founders, mentors, investors, and as I said earlier, building diversity, equity, and inclusion into your startup from the beginning. As I mentioned, we have $60,000 in cash prizes in the Northeast, including 4 general prizes and 2 specialty prizes, one in ag, food, and land use, and the other in carbon sequestration, plus over $300,000 worth of goods and services. Now, it does cost money to participate. The current application fee is $75, and it costs $1,350 to participate. If you are a student team, it's a little bit less. And we do have some reimbursement available from different benefactors in New Jersey, Maine, Philadelphia, and Rhode Island. So, but I would say that you pay $1,350 as a whole team, and you probably get, I would say, at least in the 5 figures in terms of a return. The cost for us to put this on is roughly $6,000 per team. It's significant. And we do not take any equity, so it's like a course fee, essentially. So what do we look for in the application? We look for market, solution, and team. So is there a market for what you're doing? Is it a problem that really needs to be solved? Does the solution that you're presenting look like it could work? Could it really make a huge difference? And does it address the market need that you've identified? And does your team look like they can pull this off? And do they seem like they would be ready to participate in this program and work well with mentors and other advisors? So that's really it. I am going to, before we get to our friends, I want to just turn it over to Ken, if you wanted to just say a few words about Cleantech Open, and then we'll turn it over to the folks who've been in the program.
Sure. Thank you so much, Beth. And it's great to see you all, and I really appreciate our friends from the Danish Cleantech Hub participating as well. I'm the executive director of Cleantech Open National. Beth mentioned the global forum going on in October. We expect this year to be co-located with the Verge conference, which will be October 24th to the 27th at the San Jose Convention Center. There's expected to be about 5,000 people there. So great exposure, not just for the companies that are in the current cohort this year, but we're also inviting all of the alumni companies that graduated, our pandemic graduates from the last couple of years that didn't have an opportunity to expo live in person. And that will be in October. So I also wanted to mention, we have about 20% of the companies in Cleantech Open are foreign companies that are based outside the United States, but are looking to do business in America. And Beth mentioned some of the activities in the accelerator, like doing customer discovery. And that's very much focused on the US market. Our ecosystem partners, mentors, others are primarily based in the United States. So for those entrepreneurs that are based in Europe or Asia or South America, South Africa, last year we had 20 companies participate from overseas, including some Danish connected ones. We'd love to have more, and we welcome those companies. And since the mandatory elements of the accelerator are done online, it's possible to participate fully without having to travel this year. So we look forward to that, and we welcome companies from all over. As long as they're looking to investigate the American market with an idea of doing business here within the foreseeable future, that fits within our criteria. So I'll hand it back to you, Beth, and can always answer questions later.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. So, and Ken is going to be in the Northeast with us tomorrow. We're very excited to see you. So
I'm getting on an airplane in about 12 hours.
Excellent. So I'm going to continue. I'm just going to show the slide with our friends from who have participated in Cleantech Open. And we have 2 Cleantech Open alumni entrepreneurs, and I will introduce them first, and then Dan, and then I'll turn off the slide and we'll just go in order here. But what I'd like to say is Bobby Svenning is the COO of Stack Technology. His company is based in Denmark, and he's based in Boston at the moment. So it's really great to welcome Bobby. Bobby was a 2021 Cleantech Open Northeast winner. So really got recognized at the end as one of the best teams with his solution, and he'll tell you a little bit about that. And Anders Larson is a Cleantech Open alum from 2020. His company is Renew CO2, and he's based in Jersey, I believe. And he was a 2020 Cleantech Open Northeast winner as well. So I'll let him tell you a little bit about what he's up to. And then Dan Schoner is a CTO, a Cleantech Open mentor, and he runs a company called Adler Innovation. So I'll let you all go in order. So I'm going to turn off the sharing, and we'll hear from Bobby first.
Sure. Thanks, Beth. Good to see you. And Ken as well, Tally.
Good to see.
Yeah, so I'm part of the Stack Technology team. So it's a small team. There's 5 of us. We're based in Copenhagen, in Hellerup at Tech Station. Actually, that's where we have our home base. I joined the crew a couple years back as a founding team member with three other partners, and so we invent, develop, and manufacture advanced cooling solutions that use water as refrigerant. So we're really excited about our progress there. It's a hardware-heavy industry that we're in, but we're trying to make some really strong inroads and some exciting developments over the next 6 months, which is great. And so I think we saw Cleantech Open as just part of the journey of us maturing from an organization that was very research development focused on kind of maturing a core set of technologies to something that was much more business worthy. So when I think about Cleantech Open, I think about it in two ways. We were networked through because my actual colleague, the CEO, Paul Christofferson, he had a connection to someone who had participated in the program. And so through that word of mouth, we knew that it was the right thing to do because of that connection between Europe and also the presence in the US. It was really important for us. So for me, Cleantech Open comes down to two things. It's about the people and it's about the program. So if you think about the people, as Beth mentioned, the mentor dynamic is very powerful. It's very intimate. And I think that all the mentors have a good ability to cut through the noise on whatever you're proposing and to be able to try to get to the heart of how it is that you need to communicate yourself, which is really important because there's not a lot of time when you're speaking to either other firms or individuals, investors, other partners about what you do, how you do it, and how you're going to benefit them and the greater world in this instance. And so I think refining that message over and over and over again is really important. And the mentors are very helpful in that because they have that specialty. And we were lucky to have 3 fantastic mentors that really helped us cut through the noise, as I said, and refine our offering. Then it also comes down to the sponsors that were mentioned, the program team like Beth and Tally and Ken and the rest, and the other startups themselves. I think you don't know how these network connections that you make are going to benefit you, but I think that there's a certain camaraderie amongst Cleantech Open participants and administrators that we're all in this together to do something really fantastic. Everyone has a different solution that's going to contribute to us being able to persist as a species, hopefully on this planet. But we all have a part to play, and there is that real kind of camaraderie of let's help each other. And so every connection that I've made through the program has been just so incredibly positive. There's been very few negative. I don't think that really I can pinpoint a negative part where someone was not optimistic about the offering or the offering that we had or another startup had. And that goes with the startups as well. There may be a competitive dynamic, but at the same time, we're also there's a lot of camaraderie about wanting to succeed. Then in terms of the program, you think about the deliverables and some of the things that you're responsible to get in it. For me and many others on the program, having deadlines to do that in an accelerated manner is really helpful because these are deliverables that you'll be expected to show to people who you present with frequently. And if you have them refined, and you can have people give you unabridged feedback on them, it really helps. And then, I think the program is accelerated, as I mentioned, but it fits into every company's timeline in a different way. Time is very precious, but it's also spaced out for a startup in that you're not going to take advantage of every single opportunity that comes your way right away. But it's about getting everything filled in so that when you come upon a point in your maturity where you can actually take advantage of it, you have someone to go to quickly that can help you answer the questions, whether that be about deliverables that you're working on, finance, insurance, operations, connections in industry, partnerships, whatever it is, there's going to be a time when you need it. And being able to load up your roster of the appropriate connections to be able to execute at the right time is really important. So that's what we found very positive. And I think we tried to put in a good effort, and we have an interesting solution, and we're really excited about the outcome that came from it. But I really can't say enough about Cleantech Open and being able to get us in a position where we feel much more comfortable with entering a massive, very competitive market like the US market, and at some point how it gets us to be there. So that's all I have. Thanks.
Wow, so really great to hear that you had so much great stuff to say, Bobby, and I'm glad that it was as helpful as you said. So any specific advice that you would give to the next cohort?
Yeah, I think, just listen as much as possible and try to take in feedback. Certainly no startup has all their loose ends tied up. And I think what's hardest is knowing where you don't have your your story straight. And so being able to be told that in an honest way, in a trust way, where you can practice and fall and pick yourself up, just try to embrace the fact that you're going to feel a little bit awkward, and learning how to walk, right? And these are really important things that you need to be able to do. And there comes a time when you need to be able to reproduce that without falling. And I think that that's, just be prepared and feel like you're in a safe space to be able to do things in that way and mature yourself.
Great. Thank you very much. I do like the idea of the safe space. So we always tell people that. So thank you very much, and looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, by the way. So I will turn it over to Anders. So Anders, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I mean, Bobby is a hard person to follow, so he said a lot of the things I would second in a lot of ways. We came into Cleantech Open as a very young company. We were half a person full-time, myself, when we started entering into the competition to enter. Now we are 4 full-time people, and we've just closed our seed round. I can't disclose exactly how much we got in the end, but because we don't have the announcement yet, but it's accelerated a lot to be through this program. I would say, as Bobby was saying, the mentorship was really important for us. We had 3 fantastic mentors. Some of them put us in contact with, I think, about 20% of the customer base that we were looking to get. And that was actually, we have a very global solution. I'll talk a little bit more about our solution in a moment, but we have a very global product. And so really, though Ken was, saying it's mostly focused on the US, the mentors profiles are really also international. So we were able to stretch this a lot up into the global economy. So we are looking at taking a CO2 to chemicals process. It's an electrochemical process. We drive everything with electricity, and we can convert CO2 directly in one step into precursors for plastic. So that's sort of where we come into the cleantech general area, and we're very excited about those opportunities here, both in the US and globally. And that's, I guess, very briefly what we do. For CTO, I think, as I was saying, the mentors were a big part of it. The other thing that we actually got out of it is our senior business strategic officer, or I should say consultant, because he's not full-time. He actually he was one of our judges during the CTO, and after the program concluded and he had asked me all the difficult questions doing that, he actually came to us and said, I trust your answers, and I want to help you work on the solution. So we actually got a very valuable team member out of the whole process as well. So overall, a very, very rewarding experience. And in terms of advice, I think, keep it on track with your deliverables, and make sure to take advantage of your mentors. We had weekly meetings with all our mentors on a call, so we could have them spar with each other as well. So it was not just us asking the same question 5 times. And so we had a lot of good things coming out of that sparring process as well. We're still in contact with several of them.
That's really great to hear, Anders, that the mentors are still in touch, and that you were able to get a team member out of a connection with Cleantech Open. And potential customers as well. It's really great to know that all of these things are working. So thank you for your kind words. I'm going to see if I can share a couple of more slides that I have here. And actually, no, I'm sorry. I want to turn it over to Dan Schoner. Dan.
Yeah, thank you, Beth. It's really nice to meet everybody. There's not much left to say after Anders and Bobby already touched a lot of the points. I am a consultant. I run a small boutique consulting firm for startups in the life sciences and clean technology. And this year is the 3rd year that I'm acting as a generalist mentor. That just means that I support the general process of Cleantech Open, keeping teams on track with the deliverables, ask basic questions. And it's been incredibly rewarding to be part of this accelerator program. It presents itself as a very mature program. You feel that the 15 years that it's been in existence had really refined the process. I learned a lot, I think, from doing a mini MBA twice. I also think that learning is at the core, I think, at least for me. and I think this because the problems with climate change are so enormous that if you do not learn and you do not pick up and process new information, we're just going to be always running behind. Then one thing that I would stretch also, and I can say that from looking into the life science startup space and into clean tech, the readiness to engage and collaborate, even with competitors or possible competitors, is really amazing. I've seen a lot of collaboration, also from the notion that we need to be together in this in order to tackle climate change and environmental problems. There's a real sense of community and urgency, I think, in the program and at large in the ecosystem, which I really enjoy. And the last piece that I really appreciate now also with getting the Danish Hub involved is the internationalization and also their learning, right? It goes both ways. Cleantech Open has a very good program that can propagate itself throughout Europe, Asia, other places by inviting companies to participate and then maybe hopefully spinning it out or spilling over in some form. But certainly the US can also learn from Europeans. I'm just thinking, 50% energy mix coming from wind, right? I mean, that stands for itself, I think, in the Danish society. And that's something that everybody can look up to, I think. So yeah, I'm excited for the third year. My advice to startups is dream big, take advantage of all the connections and the help that you can get through the program, and never let down until you're there.
Wow, great. Okay, I don't even know what to say to follow that. That's really great, Dan. It's really great to have you as a mentor, and I'm glad that you got so much out of it. I would say that too. I've been a mentor for Cleantech Open for many years. I started as a mentor in 2009 and was a mentor for 9 straight years. So I really enjoyed it. It's a great way to meet other mentors and expand my own professional network, as well as to stay up on what the new technologies are in this space. It's really, really great to see what everybody's working on. So I will turn it back over to our screen. We have a couple of, is everybody able to see that? Somebody send me a signal.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, thank you. So if anybody is here who wants to do a startup pitch, I believe we have somebody named Katya who wants to do a 1-minute pitch. I guess I will just stop sharing and we'll give you a minute to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your innovation, and perhaps, yeah, surprise us, wow us. Tell us what you got.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you so much. Can you hear me? Yep.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. It's very interesting. It's my first time participating in an accelerator. So my name is Katya Sablina, and I'm the CEO of the 3D Battery. It's an innovative startup from Cornell University, where we're using a 3D nano architecture of the lithium battery to overcome current limitations on the charging times, scalability, and safety. So with a total available market of about $40 billion in the US alone as of 2022, and target markets of personal electronic manufacturers and renewable industries, we're now aiming to overcome the major pain point of slow charging of a battery. And whether it's in your phone, laptop, or car, we're aiming all the markets right now. Unlike other alternatives, we're in high ease of manufacturability and feasibility, and can easily adapt to the changing technology due to our unique focus on 3D nano architecture rather than materials. So we can easily adapt to any new technologies that come to market in the future. And our business model is a Tesla-like model with a predicted deal size of about $1,000 per kilowatt hour. And our wonderful team includes me and William Tate, our CTO, also a graduate student at Cornell University. And with this unique patented technology, we're thriving to benefit lives of about 5 billion people around the world. And we invite you to get involved. Thank you.
Wow, okay, I want one. That sounds fabulous. Katya, really excited to see what you're going to do with that. This is a huge area. And if you are looking at batteries specifically for transportation, the opportunity is massive. So thank you for what you do. the world needs these kinds of solutions. So thank you. I will turn it over. Is there anybody else who would like to pitch, or is that it? No. Okay. So if anyone changes their mind and you do want to pitch, let me know. But I will go right back into our last couple of slides, which is that we have a media kit. And I want to point it out to you. So we will have additional events coming up between now and the end of the application period. So take a look at bit.ly/CTOMK, which stands for Cleantech Open Media Kit 2022. We will have many other events, including nationally run events that Ken is in charge of. And there's a lot of information in there about the prizes, the program, what to expect, the calendar, etc. So take a look in that. If you have any questions, do let me know. And I will also just reiterate that our application deadline is on April 17th. So make sure to apply. You can find it easily at cleantechopen.org. And I want to thank everybody for listening to everything I had to say. And do follow us at Cleantech Open Northeast, Cleantech Open, and NECEC are three to follow. We are active on Twitter and LinkedIn especially, but we do have a presence on Facebook as well. I see that a couple of comments came in. Is there, okay, that's the media kit. Thank you, Sophia. Is there anybody, does anyone here have any questions? We could probably stop recording and ask questions.